Okay, so let us start with our today's lecture, guys. So, we are going to discuss further about our syllabus that we need to learn, right? Uh, but before I start my discussion further, let's definitely talk about what is the impact of AI practically, and will that create an impact in terms of placements? If AI is there, you will not have any job. Is that true? See, I have been using AI tool from November 2022, which means it's been almost 4 years. I have explored these tools, how they work, and what are the different tools that is available in terms of helping you for your development. But upon all these explorations, one thing in common you will see: there is no AI tool that can give you the backend code, end-to-end backend code for your project. If I want a banking project code, will AI tool give me this? Just think about it. Let's go here. Let's go here to ChatGPT, which is one of the AI tool. Can you create production level complete backend code REST API? Okay, Spring Boot, right? So now think about it. There are thousands and thousands of lines of code, right? So what it says, this is the documentation, a complete real world blueprint you can directly use in production project. It follows industry standards used in microservices and enterprise. Now, the thing is, the complete code it cannot generate. Okay. So how much ever you try to do it, there will be a breakdown and complete coding it cannot give you. Are you understanding? The complete coding is just impossible that any AI tool can generate. It will just give you a blueprint. Now you notice, is this a complete working project? So I'll just ask, give me working project 100% to be downloaded. Impossible it is. Huh. Screen share. Oh, right. So let me share the screen, and meanwhile, let me go here and enable the chat. Fine. So I'm here in Chat GPT, and in Chat GPT, we guys are going ahead and asking a simple question. Give me 100%. Okay, give working 100% to be downloaded. So it is impossible. Okay, firstly, we will not use H2 in memory database. We will never use H2 in memory database. See, now I will take this and I'll ask, okay, we should not use this database for banking app like H2. Okay, so you notice here, correct, must not be used. Then why did it provide? It's telling zero setup, fast startup in memory, not for real money systems. H2 not suitable for banking app. Where is it giving me right project code? I can start identifying the mistakes what your AI tool is going to do, right? Example here. Now, next I can upgrade. Now see, it has not given the complete code. It's telling now next I can upgrade JWT, JUnit, Docker, Micros, Kafka, Swagger. And when you see that, the end result will be only filled with mistakes. Okay. So your Chat GPT or any other AI tool, they are like that drunk interns where they will give you the result, but you do not directly rely on that, because whatever the output you get, it will come with mistakes. not 100% accuracy, and complete code cannot be given. Like you notice here, okay, I have now mentioned H2 memory, REST APIs, Maven, ready to import in IntelliJ. But now I'll ask, is it based on microservices, that code which I should download, right? No. The code you download is not microservices. So that is only the outline of the project, right? See, not just an outline, but it's not a complete enterprise system, which means AI has limitation. An experienced developer should be involved now. Look at that. Short answer, this is not an AI limited, this is an engineering decision boundary. Let me explain. AI is very strong, it's not taking on it. So I don't want to debate. But AI include me excellent at designing correct architecture, generating work, explain trade-off, creating project templates. Understand, creating project templates, not the actual projects. So where an experienced person comes in picture, look at that. Business rules, okay, banking regulations, okay, organizational constraints, non-functional requirement, production risk, on-call responsibility. So AI is like a learning tool. If you're expecting I can generate some codes like CRM, like Zoho CRM, or banking applications, or some applications which is inventory management systems, then it cannot do it. Keep this in mind. So right now the AI tools that is being developed is for front end production ready code you can generate, and for which you can just try to explore Google Studio, right? So if you just go to Google Studio, now this is an AI tool where, okay, try our models wipe code AI. No, this is uh, Google AI Studio. Let me try this. The UI is being changed. Okay, so this was not the UI. Recently, they've updated it. So let me wipe code AI apps. Let's see this here. Let me log in with some email ID. Okay. I'm not logged in. Okay. So let me just try this out. Let's see. Google AI Studio. Can I try without logging in? Because I could see that try me. Try our models. It's asking me to log in. I really don't want to log in. But what it does is basically this will generate a complete front end code. Now, front end code has never logic written down it. Whatever project logics that you write is in the backend code. Example, I want you to generate an OTP and send. It is the backend Java code that generates an OTP. The front end code cannot do that. Okay. Now, if I tell verify the OTP that is entered, a backend code can do that. Are you understanding? So here, see, this is how it will be. Okay. AI imaging. Now, what you can do is you can just put here, I want billing software. This will give you the UI. But that UI has to be integrated with backend API. So like this, if you come across any tool, which I can tell you in my last 4 years of experience exploring all these AI tools, there is no tool that can generate the backend code 100%. The production applications will have thousands of lines of code. 50,000, 80,000, 1 lakh lines of code. Do you think AI will do that for us? No. So this is always mistaken by a beginner, by a fresher, and he will always be worried about that AI tool will take my job. In that case, government then would stop AI tools itself. They would block it because that is spoiling the livelihood of people. First of all, jobs are not there. Jobs further will reduce. People would ban that. But AI is a supportive employee for the developer. Think that way. That improves your productivity. So what we do in AI tools, how you were searching in Google earlier, that searchers getting content was difficult. But today, if you want to learn anything, AI tool will help you do that. Okay, learning is quick, learning is fast, right? Try to build, talk to any experienced person. You might have a lot of developers around you who have got 5, 10 years of experience. Just ask them, is there any AI tool who can build a complete backend code? It's not 100%, 10,000% right now. We don't have any AI tool in the market that happens to be 100% working code it can deliver. It will give you code in bits and pieces. That is what is going to happen here. Does it make sense? Everyone, try doing this. We've been using ChatGPT in our classes as well, right? And so, because an experienced developer would never do it either, a senior engineer would say, first give me clean working base, then we evolve it. That's exactly what was done. So it's very clearly telling, I'm just going to give you the foundation code, and rest you have to start writing more things into it. Real limitation, and it's healthy one. AI does not own production incidents, sign off audits, take regulatory responsibility, know your company's internal constraints. So most productive model, AI, 60-70% of your work it will accelerate, but validates senior developer. So it's very clearly telling your AI tool is like that drunk intern जो पिया हुआ है, कभी भी कुछ गलत आंसर दे सकता है, right? It is a senior developer who has to understand whether this part of code I can use or not, how wrong it is, and even we will keep using that during my training. You will see most of the time, somewhere or the other, it will also give us a wrong output. So the way we ask question to AI is very important. Only then you can expect the right answers, but don't expect end to end code. Fine. So right. So 100% this is what is going to happen here. But you can understand the things. Do that. Okay. If that was the case, everybody would just go to AI to generate the tool. One developer would go ahead and basically fix the problem. It can never happen that way. Okay. Let's try in Gemini. Okay. Let's see what Gemini gives us. I'll be using this as well. We have certain things like lovable. Now this has a bit of backend coding, but not like fully fledged backend coding. Okay, so here generate billing software for training institute. Now this will come with a lot of limitations. So we'll start working on it. Now here there is a backend thing given, but that's very limited. After identifying, doing a lot of research and things like that, I came across this one website where there is an option where I can basically do some small basic backend coding like saving the data in database and things like that, but you cannot apply a core business logic here. Okay, if you want to do that, you cannot do that. Okay, so let me get started with designing system. Yes. So see, it started working on the TypeScript file. This is all your front end part, the TypeScript, JavaScript, and things like that. Okay, make sense, everyone? So how we are going to use this? Then how AI is going to help us? Defect fixing. So this is where the best usage of AI comes in picture. You debug, you find out which line number there is a problem, you go to that line number, and that line number, Sania, okay, that line number, once you know where the problem is, you're going to now take that code, you're going to put that into ChatGPT and tell, this is the line, this is the error, how to resolve. AI works really good there. It'll give you the best solution. Second, learning. Let's say I want to understand how to integrate a particular services into my project. You ask AI, it will definitely guide you best. And today many companies are telling their employees to learn how to use AI effectively. But certain projects, it is restricted because of privacy issues. Like banking projects, I will never use AI. Why? Because AI is taking your code, it is understanding the code, and it knows how a banking system works internally. And that might be a disadvantage because your hacker will use the same AI to understand how a banking application works internally, and he will try to break that, which becomes a very serious issue. So there are certain applications like government related applications, defense related applications, banking applications. I will definitely not go with AI. But if it is an e-commerce portal, yes, we will use that particular AI there. Okay. Now, so it's getting ready. While it is getting ready, we'll not waste time. We'll start with our further discussion. Now, what is the next thing we're going to talk about is Docker. So what is this Docker? See, start understanding this now. What Docker is going to do here. See, many times the challenges that you're going to face in your projects are something like this. You develop the code in your local computer. You develop the code in your local computer. And after developing this code, guys, you decided, let me deploy this code to a server. Okay, server like AWS, Azure. And most of the time, your servers will run on Linux operating system, right? And local computers, most of the time, we will use Windows operating system. Now, the code that you have developed, understand the code that you have developed now, this code will work well in your local computer. It's all working fine. All the features are working. Everything is okay. And now we decided, let's take this project code and move this particular project code to a server. And when you move this project code to the server, I see that there are serious breakdowns. The same project code that was working in my local computer, why is it not working in the server? What could have went wrong? Problem number one, the versions of the softwares that you're using it now is not compatible to run on Linux operating system. There is a version mismatch. There is the hardware platform that has changed, there is a mismatch. And there is no guarantee your application is going to run on server. There is a breakdown, which means there is a compatibility issue because of which your software, there is a compatibility issue because of which your software that was working in Windows operating system is no longer working in server because the platform changed, the operating system changed, the hardware configurations changed. And now the question is, how do I tackle this situation? I want to make my software generic, right? Which means once I develop my application, I should be able to run on every platforms. Okay, you tell me to run that on Windows, Mac servers, Windows servers, Linux servers, Unix servers, everywhere the software has to run. But for that, I have to make my software to be compatible with all platforms. Did you understand the challenge? Yes. So in order to do that, what we will do now, whatever application you develop now, using a concept called as Docker, using a concept called as Docker. Understand now? I will put this particular application into something called as a Docker image. I will generate something called as what? A Docker image, and inside that image our application is being put. Okay, what is being put now? Our application is put inside a Docker image. Now what is this Docker image? So Docker image will help us to provide all that necessary platform software versions for my application to run. Now this Docker image can run in any platform. If I now take this particular Docker image which consists of my application, you put that on Linux, it will work. This Docker image internally has an application, which means my application is not directly running on the server. My application is inside a Docker image and Docker image is running that. What is the advantage of this Docker image? It makes my application platform independent. I can run this on Linux, I can run this on Windows, I can run this on Mac operating system, I can run this on Unix operating system. So this is where Docker comes into picture to remove the compatibility issues in your project. Did you all get this now? Why we have to learn Dockers? Yes. So we'll understand what is a Docker file, how to generate a Docker image, and this is a job of developer as well. So when you're working in a project, your managers will say create a Docker file. Now based on the Docker file, in the Docker file we will write down configuration setting. Which version of Java should be used for this application? Okay, which database am I using it in my project? This all configurations I'll put in the Docker file, and that Docker file will generate a Docker image in which my project is being put. Are you understanding? Now once your project is inside a Docker image, this Docker image makes it platform independent, like Kapil Sharma show, Sunil Grover. Whoever acting he does, it looks very natural. Sometimes he'll become Amir Khan, sometimes Kapil Dev, sometimes Virender Sehwag, sometimes someone else. Yes or no? Which means this guy is compatible to take anybody's role. And for a moment we feel it is the same real person and not Sunil Grover. Like he sometimes becomes Amitabh Bachchan and sometimes he becomes someone else. Right? Salman Khan, yes or no? So this is what a Docker image does. Docker image makes your application compatible to run on any OS. Isn't it a big advantage? And that compatibility worries, you leave it aside. Okay? Is everyone clear with this part? Please tell me, students. Is everyone clear with this part? Please tell me. Everyone clear with this part? Please tell me. Yes? Okay. Now the next thing we people are going to understand now, okay, why Jira is required. What is the purpose of Jira now? See, what happens is when you're working in any project, the project requirements, what features needs to be developed, okay, what all features your project should have, that will all be kept inside one project management tool called as Jira. If you just go here online and when you type here Jira, okay, now once you log in to Jira, okay, so there's a trial login, even new people can do that, and we will definitely learn this in a depth manner in future. So I'll be using this for software related things, right? Let me not select anything for now. Let me just log in with Google. And when you log in, this is a project management software. Now, what does it mean? All your project requirements, okay, all your project requirements that I am talking about will be kept here in Jira. And the developers will pick that requirement one by one from Jira and they will start developing those features in your software. So this is where your project requirements are kept. Second, defects. When any tester wants to report a defect, okay, so plan, product, schedule, sprint, scrum, everything. So Kanban chart, everything. So I'm just going to go here with scrum and continue. You will not understand these things as of now, right? So I'll just give some name and then I'll click on next, next. There are some configurations. I'll skip it for now and go to Jira. So here is where the dashboard will be. You will not understand anything for now, but day to day task, your interactions with Jira will happen. And without knowing Jira, you can't even work in the project. Okay, so this is yet another important tool you'll be using. So tester will report a bug. You'll go to Jira and you will pick the bug. Okay, so this is what is going to happen here. Fine. So now you notice, see, there are some sample tasks given. So I'll open the task. So this is where the task has been given. Some sample task they have given it. Okay, so working on the some comments, history, everything, and I will assign that. So I can assign it to myself or I can assign it to the developer. If I assign this task to the developer, that developer has to develop this feature and keep giving me update. What is the progress on this task? Fine. Okay. Same way, you can also report bugs here, defects. So testers will use to report defect. Developer will log in, pick that defect and fix the defect. So defect fixing, defect management, who is reporting defect, who is fixing defect, is the defect really fixed, everything we will control this through this software. Now on top of that, when you're using Jira, we use here agile scrum process. Now what is this agile scrum process? See, when you construct a building, there is a process we follow, right? The process is, first we will do soil testing, and that will give us an idea how much should be the depth of excavation to put my foundation. It all depends on the soil. If the soil is hard, I might probably go with some 6 to 8 feet of depth and I would do the excavation. So that will give me a strong foundation for my building to what? Stand. The second thing what we will do now is, then we will come up with one design. Okay, based on that design, then they will calculate how much amount of steel is required. Correct. Now then, okay, the structural engineer will come into picture. The structural engineer will now take care of how much steel consumption this building is going to, okay, is going to consume, how much steel is required. Okay, and then the actual work starts, looking at those design documents, structural design, where all pillars has to be there, beam has to be there, how much steel, which floor, how much steel they have to put. Usually first floor steel, foundation steel will be, put little on the higher side. First floor, the steel consumption will be low. Second, little low. Third, little low. Fourth, little more low. Last floor, the steel consumption will be very low because the load is decreasing when you go up. So this all things is decided by the process. First step, second step, third step, then you construct the building. It's not that directly you see the start and then construction starts, construction begins. Same way to develop a software, there is a procedure we will follow. The simple procedures like waterfall model will use, you talk to the customer, gather the requirement, then you analyze the requirement. For that requirement, you prepare the design documents. Looking at the design, then coding is done. After coding is done, testing is done. Testers will report the bug. You will fix the bug. That goes on. Once it's a quality software, we will deploy it in the customer's server. Correct? So customers requirement gathering is what we started with. Likewise, today, so agile is not some modern process. This is a very old process. Right? When I was working in the company, I've been using agile scrum process since then. So this is not something new. Firstly, take that out from your mind that this is some trending thing. No, it's a very old process. Okay. So agile process promises that the development of your software will be quick, fast. Such a kind of process I'm going to give you. That's why it's called as agile. Agile, another meaning is what? Quick, fast to develop, quick to develop, and that is what is the meaning of agile. Did you understand what am I telling you? Yes. So we are going to use agile process with Jira, and complete project code development, defect fixing will be taken care of. And here is where which developer is working on which task can be tracked here. Interesting, everyone? Yes, did you understand this part? Okay, please tell me. Sir, we are using Jira in our major project that we are going to build. Yes. See, what happens, I'll tell you. When we're using Jira, at least some 5-6 classes I've taken on that. Before that, I'll be explaining Agile. Then we will understand what all things happens in Agile. Who is a Scrum Master? What is a Scrum? What are the different kinds of meetings happens? How user stories are created? How defects are reported? What is defect lifecycle? How the task is assigned? And that's how we would be continuing. Is this part clear? Okay. Now, let us move ahead further with the next thing. Now, what is the next thing, guys, we are going to do here? Okay. So, we understood what is Git and GitHub. We understood what is Docker. We understood what is Jira, JUnit, Mockito, Jacoco. Now, let me talk about what is Maven. Okay. See, whenever you're working on any project, let's say this is my project code. Now, what I want to do is this project code, I want to deploy it on my server. Okay. I want to deploy this project code on my server. So you will not take the original Java code and deploy that to the server. Okay. If you're taking the original Java code and deploying it, that will never happen. So what we do is we convert all these particular Java code into a byte code, zeros and ones. So what goes to server is not your Java code, but the programs that you have developed are converted to zeros and ones, and that zeros and ones is what it goes to your project. Now, what exactly Maven will do? Short answer. Now, I have got a lot of Java code written down here. For example, this is one of the Spring Security example that we have taken, and there is a lot of code here. Can you see that? Like how we use JWT token and things like that. There's a lot of code here. A lot of files here. Okay, a lot of Java code that we have developed here. Now, the whole thing here that we're going to do now is to deploy. Firstly, you will go to this path G security examples. Okay, so just open Windows R G:// security example and click on OK. And this takes me to the project. Let me delete this particular. Let me open this up. This takes me to the project. This is where my original Java code is present. Now I need to take all this Java code, convert that to a .class file and package that into one single compressed file. Like we zip the file. Have you ever zipped a file? What does a zip file consist of? Some 10-15 files together, you zip it. So that is compressed and all the files are present in one place. Yes or no? Same way, now I'm going to open up a command prompt. Forget about the practicals that I'm doing here. Because I have Maven already installed. I'll all teach you this later slowly from spoon feeding. Okay, basic things I'm going to start every topic. So this will not be complex. So I'm going to type here mvn. I will use here compile and package. Now, moment I do this, what this is going to do, it will automatically take my Java files. It will convert that into bytecode, and all that bytecode is compressed and kept inside one final file that it is generating called as a .jar file. See, my complete project is now present in one single file called as a Java archive. What is it called as? Java archive. So at the end you will see, okay, a message telling that, okay, you know what, the Java archive is being generated. Okay, hopefully if everything happens to test run, so failure 0, build success, and if you carefully see the message, it has generated one jar file in my project with this name. Okay, can you see that here? Now if you want to see that jar file, you just go to your targets folder and here you find this jar file. This one file has my complete project logic, which means you're not directly deploying the project code that you're writing in your system. In order to now package your project as a jar file, which software am I using here? Maven. Then this jar file is what converted to a Docker image. In order to run the code present in the jar file, the Docker image comes in picture. This jar file goes to a Docker image, and Docker image now gives me a platform to run this jar file without compatibility issues on any server. Now tell me, should we learn Maven or not? You're all asking me only about will you teach us Java, DSA, Java. But what we are using in companies, should we focus on that? Or do you want to just learn something where we are not actually creating good resumes because your learnings put in the resume does not match with the requirement of the company? Correct? So if you just observe online, everywhere, somewhere or the other, you will come across certain points now. Now you will start understanding the requirement. What do you see here? Correct? At least the requirement understanding among the students would have started slowly now. Okay? That why we should learn this now. Fine? The next thing you see here, what is given? Which we discussed earlier. Further, I'm going to talk about Redis cache. Security. So, security which we are talking about here, the Spring security part, right? Implementing login, logout, JWT token. And then very clearly DevOps has been given here. Now pick any requirement online, just randomly, and you will see here that most of the requirements, it is not just the Java development. What are they integrating with that? DevOps knowledge will be an added advantage. Okay, any requirement you will see here DevOps. Okay, right? So slowly the requirement understanding has started, yes or no? So if you just see this here somewhere, you can see Kubernetes, Grafana, CI/CD pipeline. This is all you will start getting more clarity now. Since I have not discussed about that yet, this is all in my syllabus further. Can you see that? Yeah, which we are going to discuss next now. Okay, everybody got this till here? Students, are you all clear? Please tell me. Students, are you all clear with this part? What is Maven? What is basically your Docker is going to do? Why we should learn Docker? What's the purpose of it? This is all clear. Now I'm going to talk about Kubernetes. So this is a very powerful tool developed by Google. And why we should learn Kubernetes, there is again a strong reason behind it. See, what happens is, whenever you are developing any application, it is very important to respond to when a disaster happens. What is the recovery mechanism? Simple example, I have a server. My application is running in the server. If the server crashes, what is your backup plan? What will you do? How will you respond? If this one server where my application is running, that server goes down, how will you respond? What is your backup plan? Disaster recovery. That's called as what? Disaster recovery. Server went down, application went down, and you don't even have any backup plan. Right? So how will you basically do here this disaster recovery? Second, I have a server. I'm applying load on it. 10,000 people are using it. Server is working fine. But suddenly I notice the number of users today have increased from 10,000 to 1 lakh because my website became popular. Because about my website, people started speaking in the news channels, right? People started speaking in various platforms. It went viral. And all of a sudden I see that my application is capable of only handling 10,000 users load. And suddenly if it is 10 lakh, 1 lakh, 10 lakh, 1 crore, the server will break down. And when your application itself I'm not able to access in the browser, you're losing a lot of business. Like Amazon, 10 lakh people are accessing every day. Okay. But when they run some sale, 50% discount, 75% discount, 90% discount, you see the traffic from 10 lakh will automatically go to 50, 60 lakhs per day. People accessing Amazon, or could be beyond that. So now understand what is your plan to handle such load. Correct? So what I want is now basically the first thing is auto scaling of server. It means Right now, one application is running because the load is 10,000. If the load increases to 15,000, then automatically one more server should get added up. Automatically, one more server with a replica of application should get created. If the load increases furthermore, one more server. If the load increases furthermore, one more server. This is called as an auto scaling concept that we need to take care of. Are you understanding? Everyone, what are we talking about? Auto scaling concept here. And when the load decreases, automatically decrease the number of servers, so that you will not end up paying huge bill to companies like AWS, from where you are taking servers on rent. Today, if I want to deploy my application, I will use a cloud infrastructure wherein they provide servers and infrastructure on rent. You are taking 10 servers, which is not required for 15,000 users load. Then why are you paying that extra rent by keeping 10 servers fixed? The load is fluctuating. Sometimes it's 15,000, sometimes 10 lakh, 15 lakh. This auto scaling, how will you do? Second, let's assume I have two servers. At any point of time, two servers should run. Suddenly this server crashed. Then automatically this should be replaced with a new server. Let's say this crashed. Again automatically a new server. Right? So if you have seen that old movie of Jitendra and Amrish Puri. Jitendra, that was one magical movie. I think it was in 90s. Right? If you just see, okay, see, already one beautiful UI is been built. Meanwhile, can you see that here? Yeah, there's a beautiful UI which you can see here that it has developed. Yeah, this your AI tool can do it very effectively. But you now tell, I want a complete backend code with so and so things, so and so things, it will fail. Okay. Now observe. So there was one old movie, I think Jitendra Magic movie. I don't know what was that name. Magic movie. Yeah. And you notice in this movie, okay, the movie was something like this. Let me go to the images so I can see. Ha. So in this movie, what happens is Jitendra tries to kill this Amrish Puri, and every time he kills him, he again becomes alive. He never dies. So this movie was all about disaster recovery. You kill him, again another Amrish Puri comes. You kill him, again another Amrish Puri comes. You kill him, another, Amrish Puri used to what? Correct? हाँ तोते में जान थी तोते को मारोगे तो अमरीश पुरी मरेगा करेक्ट so this is what I'm talking about, disaster recovery. How do I get these features? We are not doing some college level of learning that you just learn some courses, learn some basic things, and today you expect in the AI era that people will just hire me. They will expect a lot of knowledge from you. So this is where your concept of Kubernetes comes in picture, which we call that as, in short, K8S. K8S. What is it called as? Kubernetes. So Kubernetes has this beautiful concepts. When you deploy your application, it will take care of disaster recovery, auto scaling, and many other features it is going to provide. So you'll understand architecture of Kubernetes, how to install Kubernetes in your servers, using Kubernetes, how deployment of projects should be done. We are going to understand that. That how I can make my application live on the servers so everybody can access this application. Are you understanding, guys? Online students, are you able to understand this? Yes, please tell me. Yes or no? Yes. Now, tell me one thing. So, did you understand why these guys are mentioning these things here? Okay, somewhere we noticed that somebody had mentioned here. See? So, there is a reason behind it. Correct? What we do is we just prepare a resume, underwent training, 6 months, apply, no reply. It will not work that way. Okay? Every syllabus and roadmap has to be clear. So, tomorrow you can question any trainer. Are you going to train us on this? Are you going to train us on that? Will you do this? Will you do that? That questioning has to start. Then when you start understanding what are we learning is, sufficient for me to get the interviews or not. Cross check that with the requirements online. Projects are not different for freshers and experience. Do you think experienced people project is different, fresher is different? Projects are projects. If you join as a fresher, definitely I'm not going to supply tea or coffee to my manager. Even I'm joining as a developer. I'm a fresher. But still, there are no separate projects that he's a fresher, put into this project. That's not going to happen. That kind of luxury treatment for fresher ended in November 2022. When it ended? November 2022, when the actual recession started. Now understand, recession is still going on. Now if somebody says, is it now the season where you get mangoes? Is this the season where you get mangoes? No? No? Yes or no? No. Now one guy in the fruit shop is selling mango juice. It's not mango season. He's selling mango juice. Will you believe? Yes or no? Will you believe that's original mango? It's not mango season, but he's still selling mango juice. Huh? No. Why no? It might be an artificial essence. It might be a duplicate thing, which means whole world is telling this is recession going on. But in our institutes, every day 5 drives are going on. So my dear students, without internships, placements cannot happen. This is the hard reality. You want to accept it, leave it, leave it. College people are telling companies are not coming. IITs are telling companies are not coming. Then how to achieve placements is the solution for this is you have to show internship, you have to show projects. I have worked on this project, I have done this project. Show that as an internship, apply, then only you will save yourself. Now, sir, I don't accept this reality. Then experience it, face the practicals, then accept it. See, since we have understood this reality, we know very clearly how to get 3 to 5 calls, and that's possible only with internships. Are you understanding? So now if somebody says that I have got every day 5 drives going on, monthly I'm giving 30 drives. So now the question is, in mango season, it's good to see mangoes. Correct? Seasonal fruits in that season is good. But when it is unseasonal, how to believe that? Yes or no? So internships are kind of very, very important. Now you cannot apply for placements from the very first month. We should have a strong learning. I hope for today this is enough. Yeah. Tomorrow we have further discussion happening where we will understand what is CI/CD pipeline, what is Sonar Cube, what is Redis cache, what is Terraform, why we should learn Linux as a Java developer. This I am hearing for the first time. Why we should learn shell scripting as a Java developer. We usually don't see this in the curriculum. What is the necessity for learning AWS services? What are these services? We will explore. And then we will understand what projects we are going to do and how this project development will happen in our course. And then we are going to understand furthermore syllabus, which means we have reached 50% of the syllabus roadmap so far. Is it giving you some confidence? Yes. You might not have 100% understanding, but some confidence people would have started getting now. Yeah? Yes or no? And see, use the groups effectively to keep the audience positive. Don't fight there. See, everybody is sailing there in the same boat. Correct? So until and unless you don't have a complete idea about what you're doing, don't speak up. That's always the best solution. A good learner is quiet. He will not speak up. Sir, how many projects will you do? Come on. In company, one project goes on for 10 years. If you're doing a simple project, developing login page, I cannot call that as one project. Developing registration page, another project. It's not like that. When we do an end-to-end project, there's a lot of things we have to work on. Creating a microservices architecture, admin servers, lot of things will go on. Integrating payment gateways, how SMS sending can be done, how WhatsApp sending can be done, right? So design patterns in your project. So a lot of things are there. Okay, so you don't expect that how many projects. one project, once we do it, you have an idea how to work on other projects. So you construct one building. Once you construct a building, can't you construct another building? You got that experience, right? How to construct one building based on the design documents. So projects is all about understanding the design documents and developing the code. It's not like YouTube projects. Suddenly trainer will come and start typing something. We have to understand the ER diagrams, and based on that, how will you write the coding? So what are ER diagrams? How we write the code? We will discuss that during the project session. It will be done after 4 months. The first 4 months is foundation building. Then near about 1.5 months to 2 months, I'll be spending time only doing project during the class. Okay? Because in order to do projects, we have to use the technologies that we have understood at foundation level, and the real implementation would start there. Is this clear? Yes or no? Sure? Okay. So from today, for the next few classes, you cannot apply. See, internships is just for the name's sake. See, I have a shirt. If I put one tick on that, that becomes 4,000 rupees shirt. And if I remove that tick from the shirt, it's not Nike, then it becomes 200 rupees shirt. We are paying it for the brand. Internships are like brand value creation, which will help companies chase you and not you chase the company. So this is like just showing off on resume. The internships is happening in actual class only. Are you understanding? Yeah. See, a lot of PGs in our area. But now from today, I will put one voting thing in your group. Okay. So I will be putting there how many people have understood the class, what it is, and you have to participate in that, which will go on for our programming classes as well. Now, once you start understanding my language, things becomes more clear, and everybody has to part in that poll, which we will put it in WhatsApp group. Like today's class clear, please participate. When you will provide subtitles on running classes. Oh, subtitles. I think subtitles, I never thought of that option. If you're a slow learner, reduce the speed of audio. That's the best thing for you. Okay? Reduce the speed of audio, Bharat. So, any other questions for me today? So, in short, at the end of the roadmap, whatever path I'm going to show you is my last 18 years of experience. This is not something which, last 1 or 2 months we've been implementing. From last 18 years, whatever I have understood, experienced, how to deal with this job market, will definitely at the end give you 3 to 5 calls, and that is recorded in my lecture, what I'm promising. Whether you are 2025 or whether you're a gap student, that has to happen. But provided you follow what the trainer is telling you, right? Now, doctor tells something and patient tells something. Doctor tells something, patient does something. Then what will happen? Patient will pakka die. Doctor is telling this, patient has to follow that. This is how it is. And AI tools that we are talking about, will it replace doctors? Will you be, lying in front of an AI machine and tell, do my operation? Will you be scared, or will you be very confident? Oh my God, AI is doing operation. Then at the end, AI will give one message. Congratulations, operation is successful. Patient is no more. AI will act as an assistant to the doctor. Doctor is not an assistant of AI. Human being has intellectual power. AI is not intellectual. I know what to do when what. Correct? So don't get into more these sort of topics which every batch happens as a beginner because of this YouTubers. From 2022 we are listening. People are losing job with AI. But actually what's happening? Because of AI, less skilled people are thrown out. Only skillful people will survive in industry. Before AI, interview easy. After AI, tough. So the best candidates are being hired. Is this clear? Make sense, everyone? Okay. So how to buy second hand laptop? You just go to, okay, we'll take this tomorrow. This will drag my class again. A lot of people have to travel back. I will explain that tomorrow. Okay. See you guys then. I will see you again the next class tomorrow. Once we finish the syllabus discussion, we'll start with actual programming. I will put a list polling. Anybody not able to understand, don't join the class. Make sense? Able to understand, vote. Not able to understand, don't join. That's why we are giving time, so that we don't end up taking a wrong student into my program. Okay? Bye guys, take care.